Welcome to Absolute Comics, everyone. The show that is formerly the Weekly Pull, one of the most award-winning, that's not a proper set to structure, a formerly award-winning podcast known as the Weekly Pull that has become Absolute Comics. The two remaining and best members of the old team. My name is Benny from Comicstorian. Yes, I know the name tag's in the wrong place. That's Sal from Sal Says What, who's now Comicstorian. You have all the viewers on YouTube, Sal? So
I do.
Do what you want with them now.
All right. Be prepared to lose them all. Here we go. That is my Twitter handle over there, but no, I'm from Comic Pop, a YouTube channel that you can check out, and it's great. Watch it.
Exactly. So the two of us do our YouTube side. We do a bunch of comic book stuff, which of course leads to us discussing comic books on a regular basis. Right, Sal?
That's right.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to cue up like a sound effect, like it's a radio show. Like, is that right, Sal? That's right.
We could do it like that. We could do it very similar, like shock jockey.
Yeah, like a morning show. Yeah, wake up with Benny and Sal.
We'll do a morning show talking about comics and movies. That would actually be really good.
Good morning.
If we were to do a morning show every morning over here, what do you think?
Would you watch that? No one would watch that. This is the worst time to start a morning show. There's no commute. No one's at work. Actually, that's not true. There's a lot of people who still have to work, so I'm sure.
So in my opinion, then this should be when we start our morning show. Because who else is going to start it?
Wake up at 5 in the afternoon on the East Coast.
Like a true comic book nerd?
That's right, yeah. I'm up with Benny and Sal. Oh.
I'm up with Benny and Sal. Oh my God, it's 5. I got magic tonight.
Oh God.
I'm trying to pull up Dan's life. I have my whole setup here that you guys can't notice in the background, but like here's the laptop, here's like the phone, the tablet. Like I've been inundated by screens now. So I'm just trying to pull up the right one so I can watch our topics.
Yeah, you got the command center going, man.
I do. Without the team here, I had to do it. I had to reassemble. I'm the Avengers by myself.
I am the Avengers. I'm all the Avengers.
Okay, so let's talk about the big topic right now. I want us to go back to normal topics, but it's harder and harder to do so when terrible news in the comic community keeps coming out.
Yes. Yes, you're right. I mean, yeah, because it's like, oh, just talk about the comics. Well, there aren't any.
There's a few. Dan gave me some that we can talk about. I have opinions on some of these. Okay. But so you were talking about this before. So there's no comics tomorrow. I thought there were. So because actually, I have the command center right here. Let me just pop this up in the laptop. Then this article.
Anything that was gonna be physical that could be out digital won't be coming out. But anything that was going to be digital exclusive from Marvel or DC will be coming out if it was going to come out tomorrow. So like, I think
everything.
Paul Dini's
everything. You're right. It's everything. I misread it.
Yep. No. DC, Marvel, Dark Horse, Boom Studios, Valiant, nothing's coming out tomorrow. Except for, I think, the Batman Paul Dini digital-only series. Because, number one, it was going to be digital exclusive. Number two, it's Batman. Come on.
Batman the Adventure Continues. Yeah, that's the one book that we were going to focus on tomorrow and get out on the channel anyway. Ooh, spoilers.
But it's smart because
us.
And it makes sense for DC too because like it will be a great litmus test for them because it's like it's a Batman book, which means it'll sell and it'll be a good indication as to like whether digital is a more viable market than they may have previously anticipated.
I'm slightly upset though. We were going to find out punchlines like Origins tomorrow, and now we're not.
I know Harley was going to punchline. I was looking forward to it. And now, nothing.
Now
we were going to get Strange Adventures number 2. Nothing.
What was Strange Adventures number 2?
That's Tom King's Mr. Miracle.
Oh, yeah, that was really good. Not Mr. Miracle.
No, I'm saying it's the 12-issue miniseries about an obscure character that only like 20 people in the comic book industry like.
Oh, right, yeah, no, the first issue was really good where he went to Batman and stuff.
Yeah, it was a solid book. No, I really enjoyed it.
So nothing tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be Batman: The Adventure Continues #1, Genlock #14. Isn't that the Rooster Teeth book?
I have no idea.
Teen Titans Go to the Camp #6.
Oh, finally!
I've been waiting for my finale. To Teen Titans Go to Camp.
I love Teen Titans Go. Anywhere they go, I follow.
Did you ever watch the movie? Teen Titans Go?
Yeah, we saw it together. I saw it at your house.
It's so good.
It's very funny.
Batman
I really
on the
enjoyed
roller skates. Come on. And then Batman on Alfred.
Yep. Oh no! All the parodies, all those Easter eggs. It was great.
Teen Titans Go to the Camp is also going to be free. So if you're waiting to jump in on that, they're also going to have Batman Creature of the Night, Doom Patrol, The Silver Age Volume 2, the Event Leviathan book, Harley Quinn Volume 4, Justice League of America, The Nail, Complete Collection. I should do that, the Amish book.
The Nail is a good book. But
that's only
it's
DC.
all old books.
I think Marvel's still coming out.
No, Marvel said that they were going to... Marvel didn't say anything. DC said, we're not going to release digitally. And then this morning at like 7 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, Marvel was like, yeah, we're not going to do it either.
Why?
Like they blinked.
I mean, I know why, but why does Marvel got to do it that way?
Well, they wanted to not take any risk, and they wanted to see what DC's response was going to be and what everyone's response to DC's decision was going to be. Since it was overwhelmingly favorable amongst the industry, they were like, okay, then I guess we'll do that too.
As much as I agree that comic books are moving into the direction of only being strictly digital, I do think that that's the direction we're going into. We cannot lose comic book stores. Because in my opinion,
I agree.
Comic books being digital is great, but we still have the collector aspect. We still have the artwork. We still need places to get these books physically. Right. I mean, it's no different than your video game. As much as people hate on GameStop, it's one of the few places you can still get physical games. And I know a lot of people who will not buy a digital game. My brother risked the COVID-19 pandemic to get Doom because he refused to get it digital.
We got digital, and it was totally worth it. By the way... GameStop is going down, and it will be gone. You can get it at Target or Walmart.
The problem with GameStop is you're going to get a lot of tangents today, guys, because otherwise we ain't getting an hour. No. Otherwise, it's going to be done in about 20 minutes. The problem with GameStop, I don't think GameStop itself is inherently a bad business. I think GameStop itself, a place to get collectibles, a place to get even their used system, all of that stuff is a great business, as proven by indie stores doing a very similar market.
Yes.
The problem with GameStop is they tried to be McDonald's. They tried to give something to everyone and be on every corner.
Yeah.
But you were in a niche market. That's the problem. A niche market that is heavily shifting to the digital market. So comic book stores, I have 3 within driving distance, but they're all an hour in the opposite direction. I'm just in the middle of them. I don't need a GameStop. When I first moved here to Colorado, there was a GameStop in the mall 10 minutes away. There's a GameStop next to the Walmart 10 minutes in the other direction. And there's a GameStop 5 minutes from the house. I don't need a GameStop at every corner.
No, I'm in the same boat. I literally had a GameStop. You know, I had the close GameStop, I had the bigger GameStop, and then I had the smaller GameStop in the mall. And I'm like, I don't need this much choice. Now, that being said, GameStop closed 2/3 of those stores.
Well, they did. They were trying to shuffle around. They got in the same argument I made with physical comic book stores needing to diversify their market so that they could sell comics, but also Magic cards and Pokemon and baseball cards. The same problem applies to the GameStops. They never diversified outside of their general market. Now they're trying now. They've got images of them doing like internet cafe style almost. And we'll have to stop the podcast temporarily to thank Thani for those 20 gifted subs. Somebody has remembered that we are here. And thank you so much, Thani.
Thank you, Thani. Yeah.
It is the end of the month, Thani. Any help you can do would be great. That'd be awesome. But anyway,
GameStop,
That's the problem with GameStop. They never shifted their market, and what they shifted to was a very hot topic market. Now, everyone's like, oh, they're becoming the hot topic of games. I'm not against that either. I like, even at 25, I still like
me too.
I still like going to Hot Topic just to see what trends are going around, some of the weird stuff, you know. They have a lot of cool collectibles there. You know what's not on every corner? Hot Topic.
No, but there is one in almost every mall.
Right. And how many malls
but nowadays, there are fewer than there were 20 years ago.
That's what I mean. So,
but I mean, like, it's funny actually. Like, every time I go to like a new state and I end up at a mall, I'm like, oh, let's go to their Hot Topic. And it's like, oh, it's the same exact thing. I
want to see what Funkos they have. I want to see what them kids out there are wearing nowadays.
Yeah,
like the skimpier outfits that the 13-year-old girls are supposed to be wearing, and I'm just like, no one would let their kid wear this.
I will tell you, man. Like, I remember being in high school and going to Hot Topic and being like, and seeing all these like cool outfits and being like, there are no girls that are gonna wear these.
Oh yeah, no, never.
And all the girls that I knew that wanted to wear them were like, well, I would love to wear that, but one, it's too expensive, and two, there's no way my mom's gonna let me wear that.
I remember when I was a kid, and for those who are wondering what Hot Topic is, because it's not anything except in the U.S., it's a very trend store, but on the edgier side. So like back when I was a kid, it was the gothic store. You could get all the gothic clothing, the piercings, hair dyes, all that crazy stuff.
They still have all that crap, but not as much hair dye. As
and then it moved over to the punk, and now it's more like that new metal kind of like, here's the clothes with the chains and the weird dresses, but they're very much.
It looks like a GameStop actually.
Yeah, because now it's a lot of Funko Pops and stuff. So
that's the thing, is that like ThinkGeek and GameStop merged or something, or one of them bought the other. But like GameStops became ThinkGeek stores with video games in them, and Hot Topics just went, oh, Funko Pop's the thing, fill the store with Funko Pops. And that company makes other collectibles, so they choked their store with that. So you walk in and you're like, there's the Harry Potter section, there's the Rick and Morty section. Yep. Like it's just niche Adult Swim. Like there's the anime section,
Hot Topic's got anime, band t-shirts. That's always like a huge section of the store. It's also where you can get weird, like movie-related shirts and things like that. Things that 30-year-old guys who want to go hang out on a Friday Night Magic want to wear.
Right, and if there's...
I'm actually wearing a plain shirt today. I was going to be like me.
Yeah. What am I wearing? Nope. It's a tank.
It's a tank? Well, I'm wearing my Zack Snyder Justice League hoodie.
I see that. Is that a custom, or do they make that thing?
So... I've made my statements on the Zack Snyder Justice League thing multiple times. And at the end of the day, in my opinion, regardless of it existing or not existing, Zack Snyder's Justice League, whatever state it's in, just release it on WB Max. Like, it's not going to cost you any money. People will shut up, and we can finally judge it. If it's fully done and it's just been some weird conspiracy, then we'll find out finally. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
So I've been on board with, like, let the man's creative vision come out. At this point, he's not shutting up about it. Obviously, there's something there that he wants out there, so just do it.
Right.
Then he tweeted out that you can buy the t-shirts and these hoodies, Zack Snyder's Justice League. All proceeds go to suicide awareness and suicide hotlines.
Okay, so you got me there. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, all right, I'll grab that. I'm all for you having your vision come out. I still don't know if it's going to be a good movie. I still think that it's just going to be a bunch of ads for movies we'll never see.
Yeah,
but at this point, it's going to cost you nothing to put it on HBO Max. Just do it. No.
I hear you on that front. I'm just kind of like, I didn't like it the first time. I'm probably not going to like it again.
Right.
And I'd be like, hey, don't worry. There's another 25 minutes added to BVS.
Dude,
cool.
Just as a side tangent for the Zack Snyder Cut, before I go to the next thing on this list, which is about Action Comics.
What?
The thing that blows, and I made a video about this. What I don't understand about the Snyder Cut is every time there's a discussion about it, the argument is normally he didn't get anything done. So we don't have a Snyder Cut. Then a month later, another screen grab releases. And you're like, where did this come from if it doesn't exist?
Right.
And then we'll all be like, okay, that must have just been some weird post-production. We're never going to see it again. I made a whole video on this, by the way, Sal. But I was like, we're never going to see it again. And then like a month later, here's another screen grab of Darkseid and another screen grab of Batman. I'm like, where is all of this coming from?
It's probably coming from like a 2-minute reel that he put together that uses like, his, because he's a film director, has money. Like, I just pay somebody to look at Mr. Sunday made a little like a CG like puppet show interpretation of the rejected Star Wars script we never got from Colin Trevorrow.
Yeah,
and it's like, if you have enough money and resources, you could just go make it. Like, if they had a Snyder Cut where it's like all the CG's not done, but it's done, like, but the movie's done. They release that, someone out there will put all the characters in for you for free.
Well, and I think that I honestly think that's where we're at. Like, it didn't exist. It really didn't.
Yeah,
but at this point, like, he's just done so much work on his own just to have his vision completed.
Is he editing it? Now. Like, does he have the dailies? Like, what? I don't know. It's weird.
It is. The whole thing's weird. At this point, I just want it to come out. And if it's all green screen, whatever. At least we got it.
That's hilarious.
It would be hilarious
for me
if it came out and it's like 90% green screen.
I mean, that's pretty much what you're asking for at this point. I'm for me, I'm like, just shut up. Like, just leave it alone. It's over. Go make another movie, Zach. Don't worry about this anymore. You don't have to worry about DC anymore. It's over for you.
What has he done since the Justice League? Because that was a family tragedy that closed out his work there. Has he done something since then?
I don't think so. I mean, like, go make Dawn of the Dead 2, man. Go make, I don't know.
I'd be on board with that.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially with all your angst and anger. Like, go knock yourself out and go make Dawn of the Dead 2. He's apparently working on Army of the Dead and The Fountainhead.
Army of the Dead will be cool. No, I'm thinking Army of Darkness. What's Army of the Dead?
Yeah.
When you said that, I was thinking that they're doing an Army of Darkness remake. I'm like,
oh my god, I think it's basically a sequel to Dawn of the Dead. It's following a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, a group of mercenaries take the ultimate gamble, venturing into the quarantine zone to pull off the greatest heist ever attempted.
Sweet.
This is Ocean's 11 meets...
Dude, I'm on board. I like his movies.
I saw a punch.
Sucker Punch? Sucker Punch is a good
Sucker
movie.
Punch.
I don't care what you say.
It's horrible.
Sucker Punch is amazing. The visuals are astounding. Plot,
Sucker Punch is a music video.
I still don't know what the hell happened to it.
No, I know what happened. It sucks. It's a Sucker Punch is a music video, and that's fine. Like, knock yourselves out. But, like, and it looks very cool, but like, no. And yeah, like, I think he technically, because he worked on all the other movies, he can call himself a producer on all the other movies that like are in production or made or are made. You know, like Wonder Woman, he technically is a producer on that. So maybe he technically is a producer on Wonder Woman 84. But like,
I think he is. I think he's technically a producer still for the DCEU, even though he has no real controlling aspect of it any longer.
Right. Yeah, he still gets a check.
So I think that's the case with that.
By the way, being a producer, one of the sweetest plums. Nobody knows what you do, and you still get a check even if you didn't do any work. You ever notice in every Marvel production from TV, it says produced by Avi Arad, Stan Lee, and some person you never heard of. The person you never heard of is the guy who did the work, and Stan Lee's name is on it because he gets a producer credit on everything that comes out that he made. He didn't go like, oh, I don't know about this episode of the Fantastic Four cartoon. I don't know about that. No, I'm going to have to say no to that. As a producer on this project. Like, no.
But doesn't he even have the ability to do so?
No. Executive producers have the power to do that. Like, it depends on what type of producer you are. And I think, like, you know, if you want to isolate which ones they are, it's about what order they appear on screen. And it's a whole thing. Hollywood sucks.
So, all right, you want to talk about a comic book? Dan gave me some comic news.
Comics.
Yeah, comics are a thing, right? I mean, we'll talk about that. Holy crap,
really.
We started late. I was about to be like, Sal, we've been talking 40 minutes about nothing.
Yeah. Oh, no. No, it's only been about 20.
Okay, yeah, it's not as big of a deal. So, Action Comics 1021 proposed hints as a way to defeat Perpetua. Leviathan states that Brainiac is a walking disaster waiting to happen, and Perpetua made Brainiac into her throne in her Godhead base. This was well as the currently captured members of Legion of Doom may lead towards her downfall. Do you think that
No.
So, the problem I have, first off, you know what? We're going to come back to how we can defeat the Perpetua situation, okay?
Yeah.
I want to ask first off, what do you think is going to happen to this whole year of the villain now that we're missing a month of it? Are they going to push it back, keep going like normal?
No, I think they're going to wrap it up as hastily as possible.
You think so?
Yeah. Unless, I mean, here's the thing, right? Because, like, you got the order of events. If 5G is scrapped, then they should extend Year of the Villain because it buys them some time with things that are done so they can come up with something new.
I love Year of the Villain, for the record. I really love what they're doing. Everything. I even love the idea, and it's what I said a while ago. Do what you want that's going to make the money, and then also do stuff on the side for the people that don't give a hell about it. Just read Justice League and regular Superman, like.
Yeah. It's a smart move because at least then everybody gets what they want.
Yeah.
But I think that if they have a plan in place and it has nothing to do with the Year of the Villain, or they're going to want to like palate cleanser, or more likely after they come back on the scene, they're going to want to have like a big sales splurge, like something that actually brings people into stores, since they're clearly affecting their own bottom line to keep them afloat. So if they're going to do that, they might want to make something bigger and bombastic. And if that were the case, you know, is it enough to say, like, it's the end of the Year of the Villain? Or is it more like, Year of the Villain ends, this beginning of this whole thing? Like, that's what they're probably more like. Like, death metal will probably be the first thing. Where it's like, death metal! Boom! oh, you're the villain? No, that's over. You want more? It'll come out. But like, focus on death metal, please.
So you think that at the end of this month, we're just going to jump right into the next thing?
Yes.
I know a lot of my comic book writer friends that I've been checking in with, the ones that I'm friendlier with, that I do keep in touch with, are all slammed with work. And I was like, shouldn't you guys have like a month off? But all right.
Right. No, they don't. They are working. And I think it's because they are working on getting ready for the next thing. And the next thing is death metal. And death metal, I think, was going to be like this little thing. Like this like big Scott Snyder event that would have some tie-ins. But now it's like, well, we have all this room now. We have this big Dan DiDio shaped area of stuff we need to fill.
Right.
Let's extend let's extend death metal, make it bigger and more important. You saw Scott on Twitter. He was like, he's like, oh, it's going to affect Wally West and his Dr. Manhattan powers. It's going to affect all the crises. It's going to link everything together. It's going to answer every question and do everything that like the last one didn't do.
Right.
And it's like, you did not say that last time. So you're saying that now? Okay. You're extending it. Yeah.
I personally feel like the Wally West thing being changed around, I'm actually happy they're not forgetting about it. Because once Wally was moved into Heroes in Crisis and then moved into Flash Forward, I honestly was like, look, I love what they're doing with Wally. I didn't like him going down the road he went, but the redemption they're giving him. I love the redemption that they're doing with Wally. But is it going to be forgotten in Flash? And Flash 750 proved, well, no, it's a thing. Like
right. No, well, Williamson doesn't want to like throw anything away. So when it comes to Flash, it's like, well, if it happened, it happened, and it's happening in my run, and I'm gonna reference it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's not leaving anytime soon, so that's it.
I'm happy because I've been loving his run, dude. The characters he's created are awesome. The ideas that he's created are awesome. My only complaint about his run so far is I feel like because of the Doomsday Clock stuff, his whole idea of the other forces, it's just spun in a weird direction. He just closed it. But the way he closed it was great.
Yeah, my guess is it wasn't even him being like, oh, it's too much. I think they were like, don't introduce another thing. Like, don't introduce another big thing. We have too many we have death metal, or rather Dark Knight's metal, Doomsday Clock, and your thing. There's not room for all this stuff. Plus, we're already going to be pushing towards 5G right now, so like, please don't make another big thing.
Wait, is Scott Liddell created with the other forces? No. That's been Joshua Williams since the beginning. Teviet, our Twitch chat, says that was Scott Liddell that came out with the other forces.
I doubt it.
I don't think, because the forces have only really been in The Flash, which is done by Joshua Williamson.
Yeah, I'll let the court of public opinion figure that one out for you, because I couldn't weigh in on that.
I don't know why Scott Liddell would have come in for like a brief period, create something, and then Joshua Williamson to finish it. That wouldn't even make sense.
Yeah, although I could see Williamson being like, "Ooh, a thing you did." Like, I'll muck with that. Right. I'll grab that and fiddle with it. Why not?
Scott Liddell. No. Never mind. He's not listening to the entire conversation in our chat. He says that Scott Liddell did the Wally West stuff. Yes, we're not even talking. Okay.
Okay, so
moving on. It's standard Tevya in our chat fearing things.
Yeah. So I think that in this case they're gonna be moving other things aside. Anything that was like. The only thing that they're not going to throw away in a big way are things that are done and Joker War. Because you can easily be like, Joker War, boom! Oh, 3 Jokers too, boom! Death metal, boom! Like, just 3 things in a row that are going to make money.
Oh, the Joker War that's going on with James Tynion's run. Okay, I was like, Joker War? You think you're talking 3? I keep forgetting that Joker War's a thing? That
it's its own thing? Yeah, no, it's, yeah. Well, because Joker hasn't been on the cover in a couple of months, and it's like... It's 93 that we're going to see Joker again and actually reference the Joker War. Whatever that means.
Well, I mean, James Tynion's whole thing has been pretty cool. I love what he's doing with the punchline.
It's a good run.
I love the designer. I love that villain concept.
Yeah.
We're about to start doing the videos on the designer. Like, a lot of the videos we're doing a comic story, and I've shortened them intentionally, because like we used to do 3-4 issues because we had to pace out to keep up with comics. You know, and I hate to say it, but we brought them down to 1 to 2 issues simply because like I gotta make it last a month.
Yeah, and if you're gonna, and the comics are like collectively taking a month off, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
I'm hoping it doesn't hurt us too badly over on the channels, just because like. I'm hoping it doesn't turn into a situation that we end up dealing with. For those who don't know, when we're between movies, if that gap is too long, like right now, we see a revenue dip.
Yeah.
And that hurts the channel.
No one's looking for it.
Yeah, no one's looking for Batman. Like we need another Batman tease.
We do, and we're not getting a new Batman movie for a long time. We're not getting anything. We're not getting new
Widow's
Marvel
pushed back
movies. Yeah.
Speaking of movie theaters, I wanted to get your opinion on this whole thing because, like I said, we're kind of all over the place today. Anyway, we talked about. So anyway, that's Action Comics 1021. I think.
Yeah. The thing about that, really quick, Action Comics 1021. I don't think they're going to be anything answered about that because Perpetua is Scott Snyder's baby. It's going in death metal. No, this is a Bendis book. It'll be a wheel spinning bunch of crap.
Right. Wait, what?
Nothing will happen in it. It will tease a lot of things. It will imply a lot of things. But Bendis isn't writing death metal. I doubt he's even working on it. He will have no bearing on what Perpetua is doing. Right. None whatsoever. Just be a total. It's a bait and switch. He knows you care about that, and you're not buying Superman because it's not in the top 5.
Superman sales still up?
No.
I mean, you and I say this like every other podcast. The Superman sales are down, and then we Google it, and it's not terrible.
Right, but it's not. But it hasn't gotten better. Like it's
only
only been
10.
where it was.
Bendis did not put Superman into the top 10 sales. Period.
And that's what he was there to do.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Like he is brought in to be a top 10 cracker.
I mean, Superman's pretty much where it always is. It's like what, between 20 and 40, I want to say, depending on who's writing and what's going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Yeah.
Superman. I'm just gonna grab a random month. That didn't work out.
Grab a recent random month, like
January. Yeah. I'm trying to pull let's pull January.
Okay. Don't forget to use the new split method that everyone yelled at us that we didn't know became a thing.
Oh yeah, right. what am I doing here? Fused. I don't know.
So if you don't use that, we're gonna get a lot of angry comments again.
Right. What am I looking for here?
You got the fuse, whatever the fuse number is.
The fuse number. Oh, fused. I see. Okay. All right. Superman. We're looking at what's 24. What does that mean?
They've sold 24 copies.
Yeah, that's not anything. Well, anyway, according to Comicron in January, the fuse number is 34. The estimated units sold is 43,000.
So the fuse number is 44, meaning that's 44 on ranking.
Yeah, that's not very good.
No. I literally just said it floats between 20 to 40, so if it's under the 40 marker, yes, it is falling.
Yeah, 34, no. Still not, it's not anywhere near it where it should be.
So, all right. Well, what I wanted to ask you about is on another tangent that is related to the comic industry to an extent.
Sorry.
Did you hear that China reopened its economy at the beginning of the week?
No, I did not hear that.
Okay.
I should have known that, but no, I didn't hear that.
So China is the first country who has now been dealing with COVID-19 for the last 2 months. They officially reopened their economy on the beginning of the week, and I've been watching reports to see how it's going and seeing if we're getting any reports. Now, bear in mind, there's a whole bunch of claims that China's hiding numbers, and maybe they are. The fact is, we have no actual evidence of China's hiding numbers or are not hiding numbers. So I'm not even going to that. But they are claiming that they have not had a COVID-19 case since reopening the economy. Now, this has not been good for the economy. Like, they've gone in and done interviews. Nobody's going to the restaurants. Nobody's going to the bars. And it's even worse than that. Like, while people are out and kind of doing things again, they're not getting back to normal.
No,
Saturday.
I don't believe that for a second.
No, what? That they're not getting back to normal?
No, I don't believe for a second that there are no cases of coronavirus.
Well, the idea was that if you just keep people from being infected, it will just burn out and call it good.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's why we're doing this.
So that's what it looks like has actually happened over there. That's what they're claiming.
Oh.
I mean, we have no evidence. But the bigger thing is that the movie theaters reopened on Saturday. Now, of course, you're going to be like, well, there's no movies to go see. So their plan was to out of 200 theaters, they were about 200. It was like 217 or something like that. They were going to start airing old movies and movies that were supposed to come out right around the time of COVID-19.
Right.
So they were going to redo all the Marvel movies on a whole thing. They were going to do all the movies that were supposed to come out, all these other things. For Saturday and Sunday, they had 0 attendance. Not a single person went to 217 theaters to watch a movie.
Holy crap.
Yeah. And they immediately shut them all back down.
Oh, okay.
Under fear that, fear of COVID-19 is keeping the theater shut down right now.
Huh. Yeah, though that's a good idea. Because, they shouldn't have opened it prematurely anyway. All they did was enter into what they did was they ended up causing more concern, panic, and potential new cases.
I think they rushed a little too much into the reopening period. Is basically what it boils down to. Like they just, everything's open. Go revitalize our economy.
Yeah, and they didn't, and they were like, okay, never mind, close.
Okay, you guys aren't on board with that. Shut down stuff that might look bad. It was just kind of crazy because I was like, oh, wow. Like, because Houston, he's like, oh, no. They already shut down the theaters. They're already having cases again. So I Googled it, and I'm like, I literally watched a report yesterday that says there's no new cases. And it's like, no, there aren't new cases. Just everyone's scared to go do anything.
No, I don't know. I think it's a good. I'm on one hand, it's a terrible idea, and I'm like, on one hand, it's a great indicator because it means like, don't do it here. Like, it won't. Like, I think, if they were to do that here, it would not have the same effect because people would go to the movies. They're not staying inside right now.
So I had to go get a toolkit and stuff like that for stuff I'm doing here. And there's a store nearby me that is open. It's called Shields. It's a sports store. They're allowed to be open because they sell firearms, they sell emergency equipment, and they sell sporting goods. Yes, it's like a giant sporting goods store, but they have all that emergency stuff, so they stay open. I had to go pick up some stuff. They probably should have been closed, but I still had to go pick up some stuff. Driving over there, it literally looked like a Sunday morning's amount of traffic.
Right.
Like, it didn't look like we were shut down. It looked like I was just in the middle of the weekend.
Yes. Yeah, it's... I noticed about a week ago when... Because what I'll do is I'll just, like, drive around, or I'll go, like, to a park, or, you know, like, I'll go someplace where it's, like, there are no people, or...
I go out for walks and hikes and bike rides a lot.
That's the thing, yeah. We did a lot of that, like, a week or two ago, and it was kind of nice. But, like, I noticed... Tiff and I went to, like a hiking trail, and there were people. And I'm like, there's too many people here. We got out of here. But, like, it was still pretty
did you see
tame.
the amount of New Yorkers that came out when they rolled in the Coast Guard boat for the hospical?
No.
There's photos. People came in flocks to get photos of this Navy ship rolling in.
Oh, my God.
It was the, look it up, the USS N Comfort. You'll find photos of this.
The USS N Comfort?
Yeah, because U.S. Navy. Oh, USNS. Sorry, my bad. US, but it's still there's an N in there.
Comfort. All right.
Crowds
ignore social distancing.
But look at the photos. They're all like on top of each other in New York fashion.
Oh God. I mean, like I see 3 people wearing masks. Like that's gonna help them if they're right on top of each other. I saw. I'm seeing it all over the place, dude. I'm seeing like, I went to. Well, like I said, like we went to go for a hike, and there were some people, and I'm like, that's too many people. And when I went out to drive, there were almost no people, and I'm like, all right, it's starting to work. The first day, it was 60 here. We went for another hike, and we couldn't park because there were so many cars at the public trails.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, there are so many people, and they were all, you know what they were? For the most part, they were 30-somethings with their elderly parents. And I'm like, I have to go back inside.
Well, like, the worst part about it is, and I mean, like, for the record, we also want to go out there and do exercise. But everyone seems to have the idea of, if you, so I'm allowed to exercise? I'll just go out to everywhere all the time.
Right.
Like, I literally, so I will go from 9 to 10 to the local park to do my thing. And I go inside. Yeah. That's it. I'm done. I don't go outside anymore, you know?
Yeah.
But everywhere I'm going, it's like, we got to walk around the town 10 times. We got to go over here. We got to go over there. We got to go do this. Oh, Shields is open. Do you know how many people were just shopping for things like golf clubs and crap? Like,
no!
Like, and those apartments are open because they're a business, and they're like, hey, we're allowed to stay open, and we're the only place. Come buy your shit.
Yeah.
The amount of people is ridiculous. There was a traffic jam on the highway. I live next to a highway exit. We moved here originally for the sake of getting off the highway to get to the airport in a hurry, because you and I were traveling a lot. And they're all over the place there. And like I said, I don't want to, like, on one hand, I want to be like, like you and I are trying to go out. The reason you saw those cars is you were also in that mess. But
that's true. But my expectation was that like no one was going to be there, and I'm like, let me see if this trail is actually going to be unpopular. It was too popular, so we left. But yeah,
it's a weird. it's a weird situation right now because everyone has the same idea. Like, if I can't go anywhere, then I'll just come out here and do working out. You know, like, I'll go to every trail. I'll go do everything. We have nothing but trails in Colorado. Those are probably some of the more popular locations. The trail around my house is populated with people. And I will say, going on these trails, that people are avoiding each other. But there's a lot of people out there.
Yeah. No, it's a nightmare.
So the point of what I'm getting at, though, is like China, if you look at the videos, they have police officers guarding locations, and they're doing temperature checks before you can walk in. They have, because if you have a fever, you can't come in.
Yeah, no, but like I'm just like, wow, that's kind of like that's like a zombie movie.
Yeah. They are all wearing masks everywhere they go, as per law of the government or something like that. That won't happen in America. Like, they'll be like, everything's reopened, and I could see the first thing everyone being like, "You want to go out to eat?"
The second that they alleviate any restriction, I mean, there are restrictions, and people are like, "No, like just no, I'm not gonna do it."
Right.
But like the second that anybody with any authority or like the veneer of authority says anything like, we're gonna start loosening restrictions, people are gonna take that to mean, go ham, like go out, do everything, and it's gonna get worse. And what's actually kind of nice about the China situation is they were like, they saw it wasn't gonna work, so they reclosed it. If the problem is, you don't get sick overnight. It's a 2-week incubation period, so it's like, you'd have 2 weeks of everybody just running around high-fiving each other and licking lampposts again, and then 2 weeks later, you would have a 200% spike in cases, and we're like, oh, actually, we really needed to, like, we weren't strict enough, actually, about this problem. And
I'm just picturing everyone running around high-fiving, licking lampposts. Why is that your
because I saw like dipshits and idiots like going out on like subways, like licking the the handles, and the dumbass an NBA player touching microphones. I'm just talking about like,
and he got COVID-19.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, like, but it's like posturing to prove that you're like either unkillable or that this isn't a big deal. And in both cases, you're a dumbass. Like, it's just not going to work. So yeah, I just picked lamppost. It was an extreme circumstance. I was just looking for
a fun story.
Yeah, I was looking for some overtones.
Sorry for ruining it for you.
No, I appreciate it. No,
all right, well, yeah. So I mean, that's the problem with our movie. We're not. I don't see us if we reopen. I don't see us re-shutting down.
No, and I think you're right.
What makes it worse is people that have the attitude of like, well, I need to get on with my life, so you all just need to get over it.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm not naming names, but we know some individuals who have that attitude. I've literally just blacklisted them on everything. Like,
yeah, you can't. Like, it's just, you can't listen to it because, like,
not even listen. Like, my wife has an autoimmune disease.
Right.
Like, yes, she'll probably be okay right now, but at the same time, we don't know. And it's fine if you have the attitude of like, well, it doesn't really affect me, so I'm just going to go kind of do my own thing and hide out. But when you have the attitude of literally like, well, if you're weak, screw you, die, Darwinism and shit like that, like I've literally just been blocking people on Twitter, blocking people on other forums. Like, if you want to be like that, I'm not talking to you anymore. Like, if that's your opinion on this you're just that shitty of a human being. And this is across the board. I'm not even trying to like name out someone in particular. This is across the board, because there's not just like one or two people that have that attitude. Now, I am the one who said we're probably going to end up reopening, and that's probably going to be the direction we end up going. Doesn't mean I want that.
No. Well, and we talked about this in the last episode. The whole like, the problem is if they lighten restrictions, we already know businesses don't care about human beings, so they're going to reopen. And so in order to keep alive, people, like 70% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, so it's like we have to, those who aren't already going to work every day are going to be going to work every day because they need work, and their businesses are going to be like, yeah, and you're cattle, so get to work.
Yeah.
And it's like, so everyone's going to go back to work even if it's not a good idea.
And it's not really a good idea, for the record.
And it's not a good idea. And it's like, we're going to be okay if we just put a freeze on everything. Like, I don't know. it's a virus. You have to avoid it. It's transmutable between people. So you need to avoid people. Like, you can't get on a bus, you can't get on a subway, you can't go to work.
Right.
If you can do so, and you need to accept that as an inalienable truth. Like, it's just a thing we gotta have to get used to for now. And like you said, if we do the social distancing and we do the restrictions and we follow all these protocols, it will burn out. And vaccines aren't developed overnight. Nope. You're gonna have to. They need time to develop this stuff, and they need time to get a handle on it, and they need time, and they need the time mostly so that they're not trying to put a tourniquet on this problem. It's like, if we increase the cases of deaths and sickness by 10, 20, 30, 50%, it will only distract those who are working to fight it and prevent it from becoming a problem, or a bigger problem. It is a problem. We're talking about, like, Western economies being crumbled as a result of not going to work for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's a problem. But the solution isn't pretending it's not a problem and making everybody pretend like
the solution is not, well, I'm okay, so I'm gonna go about my life. Like,
yeah, well, and you won't be okay for long if you continue in that attitude.
Right. Oh yeah, because you're gonna get it. You realize how infectious this freaking thing is. Like,
that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, it's literally that. And like, so yeah, and that's where we are. And it's too bad that, like, we can't go to the movies. And I acknowledge that.
I know, it sucks. It sucks I can't have everyone over for barbecue. It sucks I can't do Friday night Dungeons and Dragons. It sucks that I can't do a Magic Draft on the weekend with the new thing. You know what I mean? All of this sucks. 100%.
Yeah, and it's hurting businesses, and it's like, it's why, like, Diamond is closed and why they can't pay their bills this week. It's why local comic book stores probably are going to close. Not all of them, but like a lot of them, because they do live paycheck to paycheck, and that sucks.
Yeah.
But like, I'll take it if it means fewer deaths.
Oh yeah. Well, because we're already going to have deaths no matter what. So let's not increase that by stupidity, or because you just can't deal with being cooped up in your house.
Right, exactly. No, it was very, like, the trail thing was very much a wake up call. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna do that anymore. Yeah. Like, not just because there are too many people, but also because, like, I want to be part of the problem. Like, I want to be part of the solution. The solution is not doing all that.
The problem is not inherently the trails. Okay, the problem is what I saw today. I'm out sitting outside of, so I had to run to the store real quick, okay? Ran to the store. I was with Kevin because pretty much he was trying to get his bike fixed. The shop's open. Might as well drop it off. We're not talking or touching anyone. They're open. We weren't the ones that did that. He wants to get it fixed so that he can exercise around our area. Yeah. So my car could fit the bike. I loaded the bike up. We drove over there, right? It's an excuse for me to get out of the house that doesn't require me to go or do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, definitely. No, errands. I'll take them. Right. I've taken every errand I can take because I'm like, hey, change of pace.
So on the way back, there's a local taco shop that's a local business, and I want to support local business. So we ordered the order on the DoorDash app, and we're sitting in the car waiting for them to say it's ready to pick up. That way we can go in, grab food, leave. Done. We're still in my car. We're still safe. And a family pulls up, and 5 people get out of the car, 3 kids, 2 parents. They're all walking next to each other. They're all just lollygagging on the sidewalk, walking between the stores, and we're just like, what are they doing? Like,
right. Like, especially if it's like you got 2 parents. One stays home with the kids, or maybe half the kids. But like, what are you doing? Like, it's just flagrant disregard of, and it's like, it's the rules. People don't want to follow the rules, but like, it's a flagrant disregard of public safety.
It is. And you're right. Like, there's 2 parents. You're both here. What are you doing?
Right. Or like, if you must all go out, one parent stays in the car with the kids. I don't know.
Chad's asking if it's the first time out. No, every Monday we've made it our go out and get all the shit we need days. So we go to Walmart, we get food, we go do all our various stuff. And I dropped, and today we went back out. It's funny because Houston was like, Benny, you can't go out any other day other than Monday. We agreed that Monday's the one day you're going to go out and risk COVID-19. And I'm like, cool. You want something? He goes, yeah. You want to go to Fuzzy's and get me tacos?
Like, yes, I do.
Yes, I do. So I'm going to go do that, okay?
It's nice.
So, all right, let's move on to the next topic here. Suicide Squad 4 makes Captain Boomerang into a badass. What do you think?
Okay. Captain Boomerang is a beloved fan favorite villain amongst comic book fans by and large.
I don't know why, but I love him too.
Right. I don't get it.
I don't understand why I like him. Nothing about him is a good character, but I just, Captain Boomerang.
Well, and the latest issue of Deceased should be the indicator, like, oh my god, Mirror Master's a badass. But for some reason, I'm always like, Mirror Master, lol. But Captain Boomerang, let's hear him out. And
he literally,
he's Australian. He has Boomerang.
I don't think he was in the Flash TV show yet. Was he?
I don't know. I don't watch the Flash TV show.
Okay. I don't think he's been in the show. Mirror Master has been.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a whole side arc right now with Iris and the wife of Mirror Master, I think.
Yeah.
Like they've said what she is. I'm half paying attention to the plot. It's good, but no, but it's the plot that they do for like 5 minutes every episode. So it's like, it's the teaser, right? Iris is a mirror clone. Cool, whatever. We'll get to that.
No thanks.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, make him a badass. I would argue maybe he's already still been a badass. Like, I assume whenever I hear like they've made him a badass, I think of that really hilarious image of Dr. Fate, where if you ever never seen it, definitely look it up. It's from the 90s. I don't remember if it's called like Fate or it's Dr. Fate, but like it's Dr. Fate. They lost the helmet, which is the only thing that Dr. Fate's got going for him.
It really is.
Yeah, no helmet. He's got like one of those classic 90s shoulder pads, but only one of them. And like, he's got like an Ankh sword or something. He looks like Cable, but it's Dr. Fate. And it's like, we made Dr. Fate a total badass. And I'm like, no, you drew someone else and called it Dr. Fate. When someone tells me like they made Captain Boomerang a badass, I'm like, so he's not gonna wear like the blue tunic with the boomerangs on it anymore? Like, is he gonna be like naked and he's just like holding boomerangs? Like are they boomerangs that are embedded in his body and he's gonna pull them out and throw them at people? Like what 90s tastic thing have you done to ruin Captain Boomerang but make him more of a badass? And it's like no, we just made him a murderer or something. Like I don't know, like, but like I'm all for raising Captain Boomerang's stock.
Right. I want to throw over real quick. Philippe from our Twitch chat did a redeemed highlight message, and this is people from my college class have actually gone to a different town and made a house party. And the girl that made it said that she did it because she can't live without parties. And 20 kids got infected.
I mean, you won't live without parties anymore. No, I think that's amazing.
I've not, you know what? Even when I was 21, able to drink legally, in college, doing the whole shebang, I never understood the party like this is the life attitude.
Tonight is the night, and it's got to be tonight.
I know. I never understood that mentality of like I want to get really drunk, not know where I've been, and I did it for a brief period, and I don't
with strangers,
and I don't know why I didn't ever enjoyed it. I think it was more peer pressure as to why I did it. Because I don't ever remember being like, man, I cannot wait to get hammered and not know who I slept with.
Yeah, no, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to brag about my alcoholism with people.
All right, I can't wait to brag about my alcoholism and probably get an STD.
Yeah, lucky me.
Aren't I awesome?
No, I mean, like, I don't want to begrudge folks who take advantage of the party scene.
No.
I was not a partier, but like, look at me. Yeah, no. I mean, like, have I been to parties? Yeah. Like, the parties that you see in movies? Sure. They're not anywhere near as cool. There are way fewer people, and it smells really more gross than you ever imagined. Like, I've been to college parties, I've been to high school parties, I've been to house parties, and it's like, for me, my ideal party is people I know intimately, and we're all playing video games or a board game or laughing. Like, that's my interest. That's my ideal party. Well, it's always been my ideal party.
It's funny because counter to that, I've done these. I've done the parties, I've done the beer drinks parties, I've done the everyone's here sleeping around parties. I've done all that crap in my college and early military days.
And let me tell you something: the sleeping out parties, those are kind of fun. Like, admittedly, if I'm participating, no. And I've been to those, and I'm like, you know what? that was kind of baller. I'm glad I did that when I was young. But like, but it's the drinking to excess, and it's the like, you know, like party naked college woo kind of thing. I'm like, you know.
I was just gonna say, like, now I like a chill night where I get on with 7 buddies and we play Final Fantasy, or I get on with my Rainbow Six Siege squad, and the same people that I like. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I go play Siege. What a loser! You don't want to go party? Like, so we're sitting here like, I don't want to party, and the partiers are like, I don't want to play video games at night and watch movies. What are you talking about?
Right, and it's like, what's funny is I found that like most of the partiers are like, they're kind of like Slurms McKenzie. You remember that episode of Futurama when they go to the Willy Wonka planet, and like at the end of it, he's exhausted. He goes, I just want to like rent some movies with a few friends, and it's like those are the partiers I know, where they're like, where I've convinced them to hang out with me. You know, like in college, I hung with a very geeky crowd.
Really,
I was
Sal?
the cool.
Never saw that.
I was the cool one because I didn't do like I used to read comics. That was my experience. And they played board games and LARPed and all that crap. And so when I showed up, I'm like, "What's up, guys? I'm interested in playing like Unreal Tournament with you guys." You know, they were like, we'd talk about the party scene or going there, and they're like, "What?" And we would all have friends who were like either in a fraternity or they were like partiers, and they'd be like, "Man, you seem cool. We should hang out." And I'm like, "Okay, you can come out, you can come by and we'll hang." And they're like, "Oh, I mean, like most of the time I usually go to, you know, whatever, to my house and we get like hammered." And I'm like, "Is that like every day?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, you don't seem like you're looking forward to doing it. He's like, "Well, it's kind of what's expected of me." And I'm like, "Well, come out with us." And like,
and his name is Ben.
Ben experienced every form of party. If you have like, the entire book of parties, Ben has been like, "Yep, been there, done that." Yeah, no, he's done it all. But like, yeah, and now he's like, and basically as if to make my point, he's kind of like, you know, now when we're like, "Hey, let's all hang out and watch Firefly again," he's like, "Yes, I'll get the chips."
I know.
Like, all I want to do is just sit and chill because I did that and it was exhausting.
Oh, that's
and
exactly
it was
like before I deployed to Iraq, I had about 6 months where it was just me and everyone in the barracks drinking excessively. Like,
right.
I literally
like something to prove.
I say this and I don't think I've actually said this in too many of my story times on my private channel stuff. But there's 6 months of my life I don't fully know what happened. Yeah. And I don't say that like, I'm so baller. I'm like, there's 6 months of my life missing.
Right. Yeah. And I'm like, kind of just, I'm not happy about it.
Right, exactly. Like I remember vague moments, like, and we didn't have money either. So it was like shitty 6 months missing, like Natty Ice and the Trailer Girls. Like,
right. Yeah. No, I hear you. Like, yeah. And now it's like, no, I remember every party I've been to now because I'm happy at them. I'm not trying. I'm not drinking to prove a point or like trying to like impress anybody. You know.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. I think it's about like trying to, you know, fit in. It's all about fitting in. Right?
Oh yeah.
And it's like, you know.
I like this is like a weird like PSA.
I'm like halfway through it. I'm like, what are we doing?
All right, so Batwoman Beyond just revealed Dick Grayson's daughter is the Batman Beyond.
Oh, what?
Woman. Yeah, it's Dick Grayson's daughter.
Batman Beyond. I'm sorry. I thought you said Batwoman, and I'm like, what? Because I dropped off after Rick, and I'm like, did they just reveal that Dick Grayson is a kid? And Didio didn't want to age him? What's happening?
He's still like 25. She's 18. That way it's legal.
Yeah.
No. In Batman Beyond, if you missed it, Terry lost his memories. Dick Grayson's daughter has decided that there needs to be a Batman. She took the suit. It auto-adapts to the body it's on, conveniently.
Right.
I don't remember that being a thing, but conveniently it was.
Sure, why not?
Like, I thought it had to be molded for Bruce and then molded for Terry, but we'll go with that, whatever. It auto-adapts to whatever body it's on and its needs. And I'm just thinking, like, Bruce to Terry, you could be like, well, it's a little loose until we make it. Terry to a woman might have some restrictive issues for her, but whatever.
Yeah, I think so.
It's very tight in the chest, Bruce. So anyway,
but looser in the crotch area.
Yeah, well, much looser in the crotch area. Wow, Terry is well endowed.
Yeah.
So she is officially Batwoman Beyond. They're currently having the final fight. I don't remember if it ended here. If it ended here, it did not end spectacular. I'll look it up real quick. I'm pretty sure it has another
It was not
issue.
memorable.
Yeah, if it ended, then wow, it was not a memorable finale at all.
Yeah.
No, it did. That's right. They blew him up. It was pretty not memorable. It was like
lame.
It was like Dick Grayson's daughter is Batwoman. Her and Terry come back. Terry gets his memories. What's his name? The villain. He's the main villain. He was the guy from the beginning.
Blight?
No, not Blight. The Summoning Powers. Derek Powers.
Oh, Derek Powers.
Yeah,
He's Blight.
He blows up. And that's how it ends. Like, he's gone. Okay.
Oh, all right. Well, right on. Cool. He blew up. Nice.
And now we're just left with, we have the daughter and we have Terry, and they're both in Batman Beyond outfits. One that has a looser chest, one that has a looser crotch. Don't mix them up on laundry day.
Yeah, no. That sucks. Two identical Batman Beyond suits, but one's a girl.
That's what it is right now.
The whole design of Batman Beyond is he's a silhouette.
Yeah.
Like, you can't... He's just the logo and eyes. He's supposed to blend in the shadow, and then you don't know who it is.
Now it's the logo, eyes, and boobs.
That sucks. They're going to have to change that.
I hope they change it, but what do you think about this? The question now being thrown around is, will she be her own hero occasionally showing up, or will she become a teammate working alongside Terry? Or is it possible that DC might give her own series? We do a Batwoman Beyond series.
Right? I don't know. It depends on how well it sells. Because for me, it's like, okay, if it's in a fake future, I don't care. Like, do whatever you want. You know what I mean? So for me, there is no sacrilege when it comes to Batman Beyond. Like, you can do anything, particularly because there's at least 3 different alternate timeline versions of Batman Beyond.
Well, okay, the current one is the accurate one that's in timeline now. And you know that they've brought in Robin Beyond. It was Matt, his brother. They brought in Joker Beyond. It was a revitalized Joker, which I thought they did in the other storyline with Batman Beyond and the Joker, but whatever.
Sure. Yep, I remember that.
Wasn't that Tim? Tim was the Joker in that one?
Yeah, Tim was the Joker.
Yeah, now the real Joker comes back.
Okay.
I forget the exact excuse. It's not good.
Did that happen though? Is the animated universe, is the animated series canon for that?
Yes,
like,
the current comic is picking up with the animated series. So basically, the current comic went into Future's End, and Future's End apparently was canon for the animated series, and then they fixed a Future's End with the current series.
Ugh, because that Future's End future sucked.
Right.
And then Tim Drake coming into the future and becoming Batman Beyond and killing Terry McGinnis. Like, what a mess.
From what I've seen in the timeline, everything seems to ignore the fact that Tim Drake in the Batman Beyond timeline was the Joker.
I mean, good.
It was a good twist. Don't even deny that.
Oh no, I'm talking about when Tim Drake was Batman Beyond, when he went to the future and put on the suit and fought in the future.
Right, that lasted like 12
Terry
issues,
died.
and they were like, and I think everyone from the writers to the fans were like, why did we get rid of Terry?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's rough. But for me, I'm like, I mean, it depends on how the sales are doing. If the sales are low, they may just add her in because, like, why not? Add another fresh face, put another character in there. If the sales are good, then she may just be kind of like once in a while, drop her in. It'll be a fun cover reveal, tease whether or not she'll join the Bat family or not, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a dog in this fight, so I'm kind of like,
I'm enjoying the comic. It is a good book if you haven't been reading it.
I have not.
It has
only
a few of the
because
usual crap arcs in between the big
Sure.
arcs, but that's every comic book, so.
Well, honestly, for me, I'm like, okay, so as long, like, because you can tell, like, I don't know what's Batman Beyond and what is not. So I'm like, okay, if it's using the original canon and it's building off of that, like, I'm in. Like, that sounds cool.
Right.
And I like the idea of legacy, and if it's Dick Grayson's daughter being Batwoman Beyond, that's cool. I hope they're not calling her Batwoman Beyond; they're just calling her Batwoman.
No, they're just calling her Batman. I mean, they don't call
mouthful.
Terry Batman Beyond. They just call him Batman.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Bruce still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. He's died a couple times, or died. I think twice right now he's died. Right on the timeline.
Yeah, I am. That does not surprise me.
They also brought in a Scarecrow Beyond.
Ooh,
But she had, like,
see, that's the thing.
It was a her. And the thing was, the Scarecrow Beyond arc was cool because they made you think it was Scarecrow again. the whole time. And it turns
Right.
out it was just a girl that was terrorized by Batman as a kid. And so what she did is she discovered where Scarecrow hid his stuff. And so she
Cool.
became Scarecrow Beyond. That was a way cool way to do that. I liked that a lot.
That is. And what's funny is with Batman Beyond the Animated Series, like part of the, I don't know if it was like a deliberate attempt or if it was kind of like, well, this is gravy trains rolling, let's not stop. They didn't really do a lot of it's this but that. Like they didn't do they brought back Mr. Freeze, but they didn't make a Freeze Beyond character. There's no they made the Joker gang, but otherwise there's no there's no Two-Face Beyond, Scarecrow Beyond, Mad Hatter Beyond. They didn't just make Riddler Beyond. They have Ink and Blight and that Prowler guy.
Tried to
I don't
give his
remember
own
what his name
universe,
is.
which is why I think the comics right, because they play on that, but they also bring back the classics. Like the Scarecrow Beyond, you were led to believe, I think, for 4 issues that it was like a mystery. Like, where's Crane? He's doing all this. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's obviously Crane, because that's what they were doing. They're like, it's obviously Scarecrow. And and the girl that was helping them was the girl that turned out to be
Scarecrow.
Yeah.
That's always fun. That's if that's very TV, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm completely fine with Batman Beyond's structure being like a TV show since it was born from one, and that's arguably the most successful place it came from.
Well, it's actually how they
I'm
got
down
rid
for
of
that.
Robin Beyond too, because they did an arc for Robin Beyond, and Terry was just worried that Matt was going to get injured. And then they fight Scarecrow, and Matt almost dies to the entire city freaking out and trying to kill him. And so he fires Robin Beyond, and then he goes, it's a whole thing. It's really cool, actually, it was.
I was gonna say that sounds to me like he's gonna become Nightwing Beyond.
See, I like how we just had Beyond everything, and this is not actually, literally, they were like, the Scarecrow's back. They didn't say Scarecrow Beyond. They were like, Scarecrow's back.
Yeah, no, we're saying that because now you know who we're talking about.
Right, yeah. Just like even when they brought back Joker, and it was the Joker. They were like, it's the Joker. He's back. We're like, Joker Beyond.
Joker Beyond. Well, yeah, because it's not the only time I'm not going to call him those characters. I'm not going to call Scarecrow of the Batman Beyond universe Scarecrow because in my mind, it's not Scarecrow, it's that Scarecrow. It's Scarecrow for that universe. So that's the only way to differentiate. Otherwise, if you're saying and then Scarecrow shows up, it's like, oh, does Jonathan Crane freeze himself or does he get into a time machine?
I forget the excuse of the Joker because he didn't age. That was the whole thing. That's why Bruce was even he's dead. Why was he back? I like Mopey. Wait, the person we met a week ago is the killer? I'm shocked. Yeah,
that is literally every episode of any murder mystery show.
Yeah.
Murder, She Wrote, or any number of shows
Sal,
where it's
welcome to this week's murder mystery. This person seemingly died. Also, here's my best friend from college you didn't know I had. They just showed up last
he looks
week
like
and they're
he's
hanging
about
out
to
with
be
us.
murdered. No, it's when Leonard Nimoy is your special guest star of the week, he's the murderer.
But no, the Joker was interesting because the way they did the Joker was the Joker showed back up and it was upset that Gotham and Batman had advanced the technology. So he actually created Joker Beyond by taking one of the Joker gang members and implanting a TV in the middle and turning him into a cyborg robot. And he was like, it's Joker Beyond!
Oh my
He's like,
God.
if you're going to upgrade,
okay.
I'm going to upgrade. And then he kidnapped Robin Beyond and he threatened him with a crowbar and he's like, it's time for a repeat.
Oh my God.
Well,
okay.
but that's Joker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And he literally
that's very
called it out.
Joker.
We're repeating the past.
Yeah. All right. I mean, that's still cool.
Yeah. You should read it.
Yeah, all right.
Or watch
I
this
will
video
read it.
from this great YouTuber called Comic Historian.
I think I might just, yeah. I think I'll do both.
All right, so moving down here, we have the new X-Men series, Hellions, started. Did you read it?
Yes. No, but Tiffany did. I heard what happens. I've nothing to say about the Hellions.
All right.
You know what I mean? Madeline Pryor's back. That's cool.
All right.
Right? I mean, do you have anything to say about it?
Not really, no. I mean, I got it listed as Havoc's now mentally unstable, killed some humans, and I'm like, wasn't Havoc the hero for a while? What happened there?
Yeah, no. Oh my God. Havoc either kills or almost kills somebody, and Wolverine is like, "How dare you?" And I'm like,
You're Wolverine. Get someone else to call him out.
No, you can't kill humans. That's one of our only laws.
Didn't he
Don't
kill
you
someone
do
in
that
Wolverine
still?
#1?
Yes. And he's like, yeah, no, but I'm part of the Black Ops team. It's okay. I'm allowed to be a hypocrite.
I know. That's so bad.
Ugh.
All right. Bendis' Legion of Superheroes 5 implies that Clark Kent is not the one true Superman, but instead it's John Kent after working with the Legion of Superheroes.
Whatever, Bendis.
Is he just trying to rewrite everything about Superman? So that Superman's not even a thing anymore, he's an idea?
Right, go away. Leave us alone.
Morbius movie's officially pushed back. I will say,
oh no.
Counter to that though, Venom 2 and Monster Hunter are still coming out.
Yeah, they're like, no. Because they know, with Morbius, they're like, well, the fact is, we're not going to go video on demand for Morbius because Venom was not expected to be $1 billion hit, and it was.
Right.
So anything can happen. We're gonna wait for Morbius. But with Venom, we know that Venom is a known commodity, so that's got to come out.
Well, so that's October 2nd, and I have heard of rumors that Sony is keeping that spot and might even possibly bump it ahead because they'll be the first superhero movie to come out after a drought of no movies.
Oh, yeah. No, if they were smart, and they aren't, but they are greedy, and that sometimes overwhelms it, they'll still do that. Like, I think that's a great idea. Hey, you know what Valiant should do?
Re-release Bloodshot?
Re-release Bloodshot, then!
Well, no, they went digital now. It's too late.
I know, it's too late. It's over.
Did the digital sales help it?
I doubt
Or
it.
are we not getting any digital sales?
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder if The Hunt. I'll look up The Hunt. That was there longer.
Yeah. That's a good idea. I would not be surprised if it did not help at all.
Apparently, we're losing numbers of hunters out in the wild. All right, cool.
What?
I don't know. Yeah. So okay. And that brings us down to the last.
Morbius.
Yeah, Morbius being delayed. I mean, at this point,
no.
I'm not surprised when I hear movies being delayed. But I was never such a cinephile. Cinephile is the word for people who are
cinephile. Yep.
I was never as big of a cinephile to the point where I was counting down the days on movies. Like I enjoy the theater. I love the theater experience. I also love watching movies at my house. I watch old movies. I watch the 60s, 70s. I watch classic monster movies. I love Japanese movies like the original Godzillas, which by the way I found most of them are on Amazon Prime, and I've been watching the original Japanese subtitling. It's hilarious. Oh no, Godzilla!
Yeah, that's awesome.
I've also discovered you can watch Super Sentai on the official website subtitled.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
So the movie release dates being pushed back doesn't bother me at all. It's the same deal when games get pushed back. Like on one hand, I'm like, oh, that sucks, but I'm not really upset because there's normally pushback for a reason. So it's kind of like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, like, well, especially with games, it's like, good, take the time, finish the game. Don't just release a broken game.
Yeah.
With the movie, it's like, the thing that makes me sad is that Ghostbusters is pushed back by a full year.
Is it?
I'm not going to get... Yeah, Ghostbusters Afterlife is coming out on March 5th. I'm like, oh my God.
When was it coming out?
I think, like, June.
Oh, man, that's bad.
Yeah, that hurts.
Well, you know what
March
it is? They were
month.
hoping for a certain slot, and they're just like, we're going to get that slot still. You know what? I can almost guarantee they don't want to risk they cannot take another failure in Ghostbusters. They need to just pick another primo release date and call it.
Well, that's the thing, is that Ghostbusters is, like, if this one doesn't work out, it's over. Like, for Ghostbusters. I mean, the comics are great, but, like,
No, I agree. And that's why I'm fine if they just want to move to a spot where it's expected to do well.
Yeah, because I love Ghostbusters. I want more Ghostbusters, please.
Yeah.
But, like, don't do that. Like... But I'm sad because I was really hyped.
Well, they also haven't done that much hype for it yet. So it's not like they lost a bunch of marketing money and they did a teaser.
Yeah, it was the good teaser though.
Yeah,
really good teaser. The poster is like, put the people on the poster, please. Like, it doesn't have to be just the car. I do love the car, but like, make a new poster now. Come on.
So, all right. So that brings us to the last thing on our list here. Ryan Reynolds in talks to be the lead character of Netflix film adaptation Dragon's Lair.
Yeah. Did you ever play that game?
Yeah. I mean, didn't you?
Yeah, of course. I hated it because it's like impossible.
So hard.
But I like Don Bluth movies, so I'm down. And I know that Don Bluth himself has been working on making a Dragon's Lair animated feature, like a full like thing.
Okay.
Through Kickstarter, I think they've had multiple Kickstarters. They've been funded, but you're never gonna see that movie. But yeah, Ryan Reynolds is the guy from Dragon's Lair. I'm in. I'm down. I'll probably see Free Guy when that comes out on video on demand.
Oh, I want to see Free Guy. Yeah, I definitely do.
So I remember being like, oh my god, he's playing the voice of Detective Pikachu, lame. Then I saw it and I'm like, nope, I'm in. I like it.
All right.
Not only was Pikachu was good.
No,
and
Pikachu
also,
was good. I loved Pikachu. Detective Pikachu was great.
Yeah, and Reynolds does a good job.
Last thing I'm adding on, Dan didn't have it on here. In his defense, I think it just came up today. Whatever it is. CW shows, schedules. They're coming back with Nancy Drew and Riverdale April 8th, so in a week. And then The Flash, then Legends of Tomorrow come back April 21st. Batwoman and Supergirl will come back on April 26th. They got pushed back on their return dates. Supernatural is not coming out until they can finish filming.
Okay.
They've only shot through episode 18. That's why. So they're going to hold off on that and bringing that show back. Because all the shows are not filming right now.
Right, yeah. It's just halt production. So, yeah.
So what it sounds like is they're hoping to get them back up. Because all these dates are pretty much right after the supposed restarts of everything, which I still don't think we should do. But like I told you, Sal, I feel like we're just going to start the economy again and figure it out.
I think you're right.
Everything is planning as if we're going to. So
yeah.
I just hope I'm staying aside. I'm not going there. I'm not going day one.
Well, that's the thing. Like you with everybody else, like, you know, we have the luxury of being able to go, well, I'm just not going to do that.
Right.
You know, but nobody else does.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah. 100%. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. It looks like the shows are coming back. They're doing it on schedule so that they could start filming again, so they could pick up the seasons and wrap them up. But yeah, that brings us to the end of today's show.
Yeah, I found out apparently Supernatural's part of the CW universe.
Yeah,
like the Arrowverse.
Yeah, I forget how the crossover works.
I know the car is going to be in one of the episodes or something like that.
Yeah,
but,
they've established that everyone is in but they're in the multiverse. They're not like in the same universes kind of deal.
That's too bad.
I'm gonna double check to make sure of that fact. Supernatural.
It makes sense because, you know, they would have done it already.
Apparently, in an upcoming episode of Legends of Tomorrow, the car will be in it. But that you can't use Legends of Tomorrow as like the consistent timeline.
No, yeah, I'm sorry.
The two universes share a fact that both aired SCWs. Plotted possible scenarios make the worlds collide. One such example shows up when speculation ramped up. The star Jensen Ackles will show up in as Batman in Arrowverse. Did they actually do the crossover though, or is it just?
I don't think so. There was a Teen Titans crossover?
I wouldn't doubt that either. Oh, okay. So there's an episode. It's one of those loose ones, like when they tied Lucifer in Super Smallville. I guess in an upcoming episode, I don't know if it came out or not, but the Zari Not Zari episode has the Impala, and if you listen when they arrive at the British Columbia area, the theme song for Supernatural is going to play.
Okay.
So
all right.
It's a loose implication that they're there.
That's not very exciting, but like, all right, I'll take it, I guess. I mean, I'm not, obviously, you know, I'm not the world's biggest Supernatural fan.
Do you know the problems of linking Supernatural into the Arrowverse? Supernatural's at a point where they have like multiple organizations scattered across the world. They've also established the Supernatural multiverse right now, so it could very easily just be one of those.
Oh my god.
They just met their rich selves. It was very interesting.
So yeah, I mean, I would be surprised if like Star Labs was not aware of any of their clandestine. I mean, like when the world almost ended several times, they probably would have noticed.
Like what's this giant hole into hell that opened up? Can we send like just one superhero to scout that out?
Right, Supergirl, you want to take this one? They should do that because who cares now? Plus, people love crossovers.
They do.
So why not?
Especially when they go crazy, like Supernatural falling into Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Everybody tells me to watch that episode. That's
just
the one they're like, haven't you seen
episode.
the Supernatural Scooby-Doo? Yeah, just watch that. And I'm like, I don't really like Scooby-Doo.
Just watch that, Sal.
I will.
Can that be our next Sal Supernatural goal? I mean, for the record,
is this the Scooby-Doo episode?
Yeah, just the Scooby-Doo.
That's like 20
minutes. I
still
still owe you three episodes of Gilmore Girls, which now I have no reason why I haven't watched it.
There is zero reason not to watch it. You know it's on Netflix because like that's where the revival was. But yeah, that's fine.
Super Sentai. Stick around after the show. I'll find that link again.
Ah, cool.
All right, guys. Well, I guess that's today's episode of Absolute Comics. Going to shut down the laptop, put it back over here on the side of my new command center. Thank you guys for joining us today. Sal, by the way, the moment that the COVID thing goes away, let's get you out here because it's like $10 right now.
Yeah, exactly. No, immediately once it's done.
Right. Like, we can't play it very much more than it's. Sal, we can go outside again. Come to Colorado. Don't go see your family.
I've ordered your ticket. You're done.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us today on today's episode of Absolute Comics. This is a show that we bring to you on the Comic Store and Podcast Network. We bring you shows every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Schedule is down below if you are watching this over here on Twitch. We talk about comic books. We talk about conspiracies. We talk about reviews. We talk about everything that we want to talk about. Thursday, we'll be back with another fun episode of Comics Experiment. Try to come up with a more unique idea. You guys didn't like last week's idea too much, but whatever. And we'll probably be doing our show 3 Beers and a Topic, where we get 3 beers and talk about a topic.
So self-explanatory.
Yeah, this title really says it all in that one. Thank you guys
does.
for joining us today. Don't forget to check out Sal over on Comic Pop, and you can find me over on Comic Storian. We are here all the time, and if you do enjoy our personalities and our teams, Sal, his wife Tiffany, is currently on the Comic Pop TV channel. We're going to be doing a raid with her in about 5 or 10 minutes, right after I find this link for the Super Sentai thing. And you can also find me streaming Final Fantasy games and a few other ones over on my personal Twitch channel, Eligible Monster. We'll be back at that this weekend, hopefully. Friday and Sunday this week, just to kind of get back in the groove. Hope to see you guys there. Thank you so much for your support today. I'm going to end this podcast, but we're going to hang around for a minute, answer some questions, and then we're going to do the raid.